Now, as you may already know, the Social Relief of Distress Grant has been extended for another year. That's the 350 monthly special grant that was given by government during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, this was announced, of course, the extension was announced in the midterm budget speech by the Minister of Finance, Inokonogwana, yesterday in Parliament. The grant sparking many questions. Is it enough? And where will government get the money to fund this grant? And this extension, what does it actually mean? Let's get some reaction now from General Moyo from the #PayTheGrants movement, joining us now via Zoom. General, good afternoon. Your reaction first overall to the news that the 350 SRD grant has been extended by another year.
Good afternoon and good afternoon to the viewers. The extension of the 350 for another year is not a surprise to us. It's not something that we're amazed that the minister will announce. It's something that we're actually expecting, as they have not actually divulged any means to address some of the issues that we've been actually advancing in our litigation process.
You welcome the extension?
We do welcome the extension. As I've mentioned, that it is something that we're expecting that it will happen, as they were not going to cut it before the elections next year. So the extension up until March next year, it was not sufficient enough for them to make sure that they cover and they make sure that they produce the pathway towards the basic income grant.
So do you think this is leading to that basic income grant? 350, though, is said to be very little.
350 is very little, as we've been saying, that it is very little. So the minister actually is extending this. We know the treasurer and his team that their strategy is simple. It actually came out yesterday very clearly that for them it is to make sure that they don't fix those glitches, they don't fix and improve the grants, but to make sure that they actually keep the very same systematic problems, to make sure that the beneficiaries and the claimants decline, and then they cut the budget now and again.
So when they cut the budget now and again, currently they've allocated, he announced 34 billion rand for this extension. Are you not concerned it might affect the advent or the establishment of a universal basic income grant?
I think the push and the direction that should be taken by the country is towards that direction, since there is no turning back. I think the minister is delaying in actually making this SRD permanent. So we are actually on a process of trying to make sure that we push towards that direction through our court case, as the 9 key points that we've been actually raising in our court litigation has not been addressed. So the budget or the increase or extension to 2025 doesn't actually assist much, since the issue of the value of the 350 is not yet been addressed, and the other issues which are part of the litigation are not yet clearly been addressed by the midterm budget. So the minister is still duck and diving with what's supposed to be addressed properly.
So in your view, a basic income grant is inevitable. It will come. It will be a question of time, and then there has to be agreement of the amount. What will this income grant be?
No, in our court papers and in our advocacy, or with the engagement that we've been actually saying with our letters and engagement, we've been clear that the amount should be the upper bound of a poverty level that the minister should be aiming for. And we've said it straight that the amount should be none less than the 1,500 rand per person per month. That's the position that we are advancing for. And the position is clear that it should be on the basis of universal basic income guarantee.
And that would mean it will cover from what age to what age if it's universal?
If it's universal, we are clear in saying it's from 18 years to 59 years. So meaning that we are advancing the position from the cradle to grave, which is from the childbirth or the child support grant up until the pension grant. So meaning those age 18 to 59 are the only grants recipients which are not yet being catered for in terms of the grant system.
How do you respond to the voices that say the country cannot afford a universal basic income grant?
I think those are the rhetorics that are not being substantiated by any evidence. There are much evidence that the IEJ and other economic specialists or institutions have produced which can substantiate this position that we are actually articulating. So those narratives are the people who are pushing backwards, who are against this move towards the basic income guarantee.
Okay, so that's the court process, General, as we conclude. Where are you at? At what stage is this litigation at now? What are the next steps that you expect to unfold?
The court case now is in a process whereby the Minister of Finance, Mr. Enoch Godongwane, have recently asked to join the case, whereby he will be filing the papers. His deadline is the 24th of this month, as the first and second respondent is SASSA and DSD. So now he'll be joining the case as a third respondent. So we are waiting for his filing affidavits or answering affidavits so that we can proceed and get maybe the proper date, because now the stage where we are actually on a process of case management where we are going to the court on the 20th of December unopposed. But the minister asked to join recently. So we allowed and welcomed his application.
Thank you very much for your time. General Moyo from the hashtag Pay the Grants movement, reacting to the announcement of the extension by another year of the SRD grant, but they want a universal basic income grant of at least 1,500 rand. There is a matter before the courts currently. Thank you very much for your time, sir.